Hello, Libra. Sun, Moon, and Rising 2024 in the month of January is going to bring you some really powerful opportunities connected to property, land, home, rentals, maybe real estate agreements, financing, mortgages, also possibly very good news to do with pets and also your work environment. So much going on in a very positive month this month. I couldn't even begin to tell you where, because there's just too many grand trines forming and also Jupiter moving direct. So we're going to talk about the details of this month, break it down in a chronological order. Get ready, get set. Before we start, my name is Lori Lothian. I'm using the Western Tropical Zodiac. I am using whole sign houses as all astrologers on YouTube. Please don't forget, if you are new to my channel, give me a try, like, and subscribe. We're using astrology to help you time your best life and use it as a navigational wisdom tool. I also would say to you, I have a promotion before we start the month ahead. Check it out. A 2024 all sign videos up to 90 minutes for each video is now on sale until the end of January for only $59. If you want to grab that bundle through December, January, and then you can share with friends and family, stocking stuffers, and giveaways. Just enjoy that PDF with links to 12 unlisted videos. This helps my channel grow because I use this money for buying microphones, laptops, and hiring staff. This is my fundraiser. This content never goes into the public. You can buy just your own sign as well. Check down in my description box below. Now, here we go. Just one sign instead of 12. But why not get all 12? Because then you can listen for Sun, Moon, and Rising. All right, Libra, Libra, Libra. What a month ahead. Let's start off with the basics before the sun shines in my face directly as I try to record in December while I'm traveling. Number one, let's say the best thing I can say is that when Jupiter moves direct, you feel like you're moving direct and that luck is coming to you and forming and flowing in a positive way in that old chunky money house, the 8th house. Jupiter has been here since last May, but he retrograded starting in September and through till December 30th or the beginning of January was retrograde, which is not bad, but just slow, nothing much happening. Now that he's moving direct, you can expect things like follow through on the inheritances, the trust funds, the bank loans, the mortgages, the commission checks, the royalty income, the ad income, passive income, money shared with your spouse, tax rebates and insurance payouts, and more. This kind of chunky money that you don't earn directly is now going to prosper. Technically, having Jupiter moving through your 8th house can be an inheritance transit, and you may be due for an inheritance until the end of May as Jupiter is moving in your 8th house throughout this time. However, it is in the month of January that you start to feel like some of your deeper money stories are moving forward, especially if you felt you had to go back over old ground, revise your taxes, look at your, 401k, check your stock part investments, and maybe they retracted and your stocks were regressing. Things are moving forward, investments are moving forward, things are going back in the right direction. But at the same time, if you want to refinance a property, buy a house, sell a house, or even rent a house, like be the landlord or the tenant, things are now also moving forward in December. This is especially auspicious for you because Jupiter moving direct in your 8th house is going to flow to a bunch of planets this month in your 4th house. And we'll get into that in a minute. It's a bit of a difficult beginning of the new year because it's kind of like New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, and the day after. You're going to have a square from Venus to your Venus from your house of short distance trips and travel, neighbors and neighborhood, and younger siblings to Saturn in your work house and health house. Honestly, you could come down with a cold, a flu, hopefully not the COVID thingy. You could come down with something that just kiboshes your enjoyment of New Year's Eve and the couple of days that follow, or you may have a travel plan that you wanted to do that gets in the way of reality because of a work obligation, or you may have some situation with a pet that kind of fundamentally kiboshes something to do with an enjoyable travel plan or opportunity around the last day of December and the first couple of days of January. After this energy passes, and it will pass, then you move into some sweeter waters. Particularly enjoyable, and I'm really happy about this for everybody, is Mars, sextile Saturn, trine Jupiter, creating a mini grand trine in the sky between January 8th and the 15th. And it's going to be coming back later in the month in a different way. So just really listen to what I'm trying to explain because I'm going to explain it again later. If I get it now, you'll get it later too. So basically, these mini trines, like small triangles in the sky, can bring luck and goodness, ease and flow. And this is between the investment monies where Jupiter's sitting and taxes and inheritances and speculations and stock markets and shared money with your partner and all of that good stuff. Jupiter is flowing in a very easy and graceful and beautiful way to Mars in the house of real estate, property, home, and land. And that's your fourth house. Mars will be there from January 3rd onward. And so therefore you're going to find something very auspicious trying to happen here. It's as if, you are looking at the opportunity to buy a home, sell a home, change a home, rent a home, construct a home, fix a home, travel from home. But mostly here, it's going to open up a little bit more of like, how can you make some changes to do with your financial out pictures regarding home, property, land, and real estate. A lot of you will look at it that way. And so eventually even selling and buying real estate as we get later in the month, and we'll talk about that. Mars in the fourth house exalted can also mean something to do with construction or big renovations going on in a home or a property, a rental property, or a landlord. You could rent one of your rental properties. As a tenant, your landlord might be renovating it, or you just might be renovating a property that you own or live in. Anyway, that's all possible too. And it's a very auspicious 8th to the 15th 5. Things are flowing. You're feeling good about it. Because Jupiter's saying we got enough money to do the renos, or we're feeling really prosperous in this refinancing of this property and mortgages and all of that. At the same time, everybody's sextiling Saturn, and that creates a triangle pointing at your sixth house up. Debts. You could pay off debts, pay down debts, pay off a mortgage, pay off a credit card in the 8th to the 15th of January. Or work situations that are robustly improving your home life and your longer term finances, or situations with pets that are very fortunate for you, especially when it comes to bringing a new pet into the home. And then finally, things that may have to do with your rental contracts and agreements for properties going in a very positive way as well between the 8th and the 15th of January. Now we move forward then, and Pluto joins with the sun, and this energy of Pluto's sun at 29 Capricorn around the 20th, 21st of the month, depending on where you live, is going to end or complete or finalize something that has been going on for a long time. And what I mean is that this is Capricorn, property, home, land, real estate, legacy wealth, family of origin, mother. That part of your sky has had a Pluto Sun conjunction every year since 2008 or 9. So this is nothing new, but this is the last grand finale of that energy playing out here. And so what are you going to complete on that longer cycle? It can end you could complete a place. You might end where you live. You may be making a final grand statement. You're going to change your home. You might finally finalize a inheritance money story that has been impending or pending for a while from somebody up your family line. All of that energy is really intensely placed around the 21st of January, but then the sun will move into, and so will Pluto, Aquarius. And then on the 21st, 22nd, those energies are now in your 5th house of romantic relationship, sexuality, children, fun, play, joy, pleasure, entrepreneurship. This is a Pluto, though, that will be in this part of your sky for 20 years until 2023-24. Pluto transiting your 5th house, transforming your relationship to your creativity, your entrepreneurial endeavors, your children, to romantic love and sexual love, transforming that part of your world. We'll do a whole video just on that. Pluto first ingressing into the 5th house can end up ending a relationship, a significant love relationship, if you are not careful. Because the last time Pluto was here in this part of your chart was last year. It was in March 23rd to June 11th. And if you have already in a romantic love relationship, was it kind of destabilized back then? Because Pluto's back, and it could create a little bit more of that feeling of instability, because he will be, addressing Chironic themes, as Chiron is trying to help you heal some 7th house wounds. My all sign videos go deeply into that Chironic wound healing eclipse cycle in your 7th house. Jupiter will half-ass try to flow to Saturn, but he doesn't quite make it between the 24th and the 31st of January. This is a refrainment. They keep trying to meet each other, but they can't get there. I don't know if I call it a refrainment or just a lack of contact, but they cannot perfect a sextile. So it's almost like something going on in the last week, the 24th to the 31st of the month or so, or 30th of the month, where you're finding yourself wanting to succeed at some kind of financial situation connected to work and health, rentals and tenancies, and you can't quite make it happen. It's like Jupiter's trying to bring it from the 8th house of chunky money, insurance payouts, taxes, inheritances, and Saturn's trying to bring it from the 6th house of pets, debts, tenancy agreements and rental agreements, contracts around employment, and things just don't gel. I mean, it could be your employer says we're going to have stock options for all of you guys, or we're going to give you guys year-end bonuses, just chunks of money, but they don't pull it off and it does not quite happen. And therefore, there's a sense of almost but not quite, or good but not great. And finally, then we move into a bit of a difficult sky on the 25th to the 28th of the month. Now, this part of the sky, the story is going to be positive maybe, but also has a bit of grit. Mercury, Mars co-join in the sky together, called a conjunction. Mars in Capricorn. Oh, I forgot to tell you something. I have to go back. Sorry, guys. It's been a long day. Back in when we talk about that Mars energy with the 8th to the 15th creating a mini grand trine, I forgot to mention Mars is rising in your 4th house. The heliacal rise of Mars in your 4th house will indicate a beginning of a time in which you are going to improve over 2 years, starting in January. Home, property, land, legacy wealth, real estate matters. It's going to impact your long-range finances, your speculation, your wealth, even wealth generated from foreign lands. We'll go into that in a deeper dive in my All Signs video in January, so definitely subscribe for that. But you may find some good news and good vibes here as well during the month of January around things that will be about property, land, home, and real estate, and money and mortgages, as well as rental agreements. And that stuff really picks up energy after the 11th as Mars becomes visible. Now, later on, we do see that Mercury will join that now barely visible Mars in your 4th house. That could be contracts and agreements that are broken, negotiations and deals that fall apart, or things to do with action and decisions and ideas that you're trying to execute or take on in the 4th house of home and real estate. But it's squaring the nodes of fate in the house of legal contracts and agreements, North Node in your 7th and South Node in your 1st house. So you could have conflicts with significant others, marriage type partners, long-term committed love partners around the choices and decisions and actions around your home life. Or you could have a failure for a contract to work, or you could be breaking a contract, breaking a rental contract, breaking a mortgage contract, breaking a lease agreement, or talking about breaking those agreements in some way. This kind of conversation is connected to the nodes of fate and some wounds that you may have in business and love partnerships. So look for that energy to be very intense, but fade it on the 25th to the 28th of January. But on the other hand, it does flow a little bit better on the 28th and 29th as then Mercury moves on past Mars and flows to Uranus in the chunky money house. Maybe a separate story, I'm not sure, but a sudden good news, a bit of information about money from your mom or dad, inheritance monies, tax rebates, chunks of money coming at you, but all connected to things to do with your property, home, land, real estate, most likely. A breakthrough in a rental tenancy agreement, possible as well. Again, that's really coming through the sky later on around the 28th and 29th of January. They may or may not be connected. There is a second Venus, a second mini grand trine happening on the 27th, 28th, 29th, as Venus now takes cue from where Mars was and is in your 4th house. Now, Venus will be in your 4th house, which is Capricorn, which is property, home, and real estate, from January 23rd to about the 2nd week of February. Fantastic time for beautifying your home, decorating your home, designing your home, having love and enjoyment and fun and pleasure in your home. That's a lovely transit for you, and being very resourceful and good with money in and from your home, and making good money choices to do with your home. Again, January 23rd into the 2nd week of February. But it is during the end of this month, then, January 27th, 28th, and 29th, that Venus now hooks up in a positive flow to Jupiter in the house of chunky money, mortgages and refinances, credit cards and credit debts, and it looks like, or inheritances. And with Venus here, that can definitely look like some inheritance money for some Libras, but also, as I said, home, property, real estate, things to do with it, stock markets and stuff like that. So a bit of a glow up there for some financial success coming through the 27th to the 28th, but because it all trines and then sextile Saturn. Saturn is at the tip of a sextile from Jupiter and Taurus in your 8th house and Venus and Capricorn in your 4th house. What that may mean is that there's also situations to do with pets, rental agreements, tenancies, and work situations that are also bringing in some greater financial goodness for you around the end of the month, 27th to the 29th. Now we're going to break down a little bit of detail here about the movement of planets. As I mentioned, Mars will be moving through Capricorn for 6 weeks starting on the 3rd of January. And we just know that's going to be about construction in the home, moving from the home, changing the home, renovating the home, action in the home, passion in the home. Be careful for fighting in the home. He is exalted, so it can be more positive than not fighting with the people you live with. But then also you can say that, hey, Mercury will go direct on January 2nd, and he will be doing so at 20 Sagittarius. And that's a place where direct motion Mercury could open up gates of travel opportunities, learning opportunities, travel to visit a sibling, cousins, more social events in the local neighborhood, restaurant, pubs, and bars. That really picks up for you guys on January 2nd and continues to be true until January the 13th. Well, that's as far as he gets before he moves into Capricorn. When Mercury moves into Capricorn on January 13th to February 24th, your fourth house of home, property, and real estate, as a general principle, January 13th to February 4th is good for buying and selling, deal making, negotiating, rental and properties, tenants, leases, being a tenant, getting a new property deal, selling real estate, buying real estate, listing your home for sale, all of those factors. The other cool thing that's going to happen here, and I really love this for you to say the very least, is that Venus is going to get her little fingers in the mix. So Venus will be in the sign of Sagittarius from December 29th to January 3rd, giving you a lot of fun, play, pleasure, a lot of excitement in things to do with local environment, neighbors, neighborhood, fun events that you could do, pubs and restaurants, do the whole thing. And that energy could also be about leisure travel, or fun and exciting skills-based learning. And it's really going to be the best for you, right? When Venus is there, which is again, December 29th to January 23rd, but also when you still have Mercury there. So I'm going to say December 29th to January 13th looks like party or fun leisure travel or short distance travel or fun with siblings or enjoyment of your neighbors and neighborhood, that kind of fun stuff. Then we also can see that Venus will move out of the sign of Sag and into your fourth house, making your home beautiful. I mentioned this earlier, January 23rd into the second week of February. I see a lot of people often can decorate, beautify their home, but also it just means enjoyment and fun in the home. But because you have a lot of stuff going on with property, land, and real estate, it could be also good money luck in buying, selling a home, or negotiating a rental contract for a property to lease as a tenant or to lease out as a landlord. All right, so hopefully you got those dates firmly in your mind. All right, thanks for listening. I hope you guys found that useful. I have a Patreon community, Libra. If you want to join my Patreon community, please jump on in. My Patreon community is going to be a place where you can connect with me on a more intimate level. I put early access ad-free content out every single month. It's all the stuff on YouTube without the ads. And plus, I do 3 YouTube Zoom videos, meetings a month. And all of this simply says you have a lot more contact with me. And I give you 3 free courses to try me out for $5 a month. And those courses are worth $100. Chiron, the key to purpose. Are you my person? Synastry class. And number 3, you're going to get access to the live class, Chiron Life Cycles course. And those 3 opportunities are there for you if you want to try me out for $5 a month on Patreon. And if you don't like it, you can quit after 1 month and $5 and you still get the free gifts. So I'm trying to ethically bribe you to try my Patreon community out. All right. So thanks for listening, guys, and have a great 2024 January.